Okay. So when you go for interviews, people will be asking you that, can you explain your project? What is happening in your project? Right? So for that, basically, what you have to do, people who are already working in the projects, they'll be explaining their own projects. Okay. People who are not working, okay, for them. So if you tell many things, it will be very difficult if they are going to ask any cross questions about the project. Okay, so this is the common architecture of the projects. Okay, majority of the projects will be having the same architecture, whatever you are seeing, whatever you are seeing on my screen. Okay, now, so majority, since majority of the people, right, using them, so when we are going to explain it, people will easily understand. Okay, people will be people will easily understand this flow. So basically, here we'll be having three layers. Okay, in any project, where we'll be having three layers. The first layer is a staging layer. Okay, so staging layer is nothing but is base table. This is the staging layer. Okay, and the second one is the data mart layer. Okay, so in the staging layer, so for every project, almost we are going to have multiple sources, multiple sources from which we are going to get the data. Okay, so what we should tell, we have the data from different sources. All the sources data will be get into a single place called staging area. So where we'll be having different tables created. So let's say there is one table which for that table, few data is coming from Oracle database, few data is coming from Teradata, few data is coming from SQL Server. Okay, so like that, if we have multiple source systems, we will integrate them into staging layer. So staging layer is going to be a staging layer where we are going to have all the source tables will be coming up. Okay, so once the data will be coming into the staging layer, so from source system to staging layer, where we'll be having one-to-one mappings like truncate load mappings. So every time we will just truncate and reload with the source data. Once the data is getting loaded into the staging layer, then we will be having data mart layer. Okay, this is the access layer that you can see here, right? So this we will call it as a data mart layer. Okay, so in the data mart layer, where we will be having dimension tables and fact tables. Okay, first we are going to load the data to the dimension tables, and then we are going to load the data into fact tables. So source for the dimension tables and fact tables are coming from staging layer. Okay, so once the data is getting loaded into the fact tables and dimension tables, so to access by the reporting team, so we are going to create some kind of a views. We are going to create views with the requirement of the reporting team. So like they have generated they wanted to generate a report. For that, what kind of attributes are required, or what kind of columns are required? Okay, what kind of data is required? So with their requirement, we'll be generating or we'll be creating a view. Okay, so once we create a view, the people will be using or consume that view to display the data in the report. Okay, this is the high level architecture of any project. So this is how the project is going to looks like. So you can also tell them that yes, this is what is my architecture of the project. So these questions, right, we have to make it as simple as. Otherwise, if you are going to tell AWS S3, Snowflake, all this stuff, so then people will be asking more questions. Then we should not be able to answer them actually. Okay. Now, roles and responsibilities. Okay, so these roles and responsibilities, these are the basic roles and responsibilities. So along with that, you will have to add your own points. Okay, so people will be asking you. The first question is this one only. Can you please tell me about yourself with the roles and responsibilities in the project? Okay, so you have to tell total I have this many years of experience in databasing using Informatica. Currently, Informatica ACS CDI, Cloud Data Integration. Okay, so I worked in the development and enhancement projects. So development project is basically a new project that is going to build from scratch. Okay, enhancement project is basically, so the project is already working or that is live. So there are few changes are coming in the project. So enhancement meaning, so we are enhancing the existing project by adding few columns or by removing few columns in the tables. We are enhancing it. Then roles and responsibilities. Roles and responsibilities. I'm working as a developer to create the mapping tasks, task flows with the different business scenarios as per the requirements. And also we'll be creating unit test case document once the development of the mappings are completed. Okay. So also worked on the documentations like creating technical design document, source to target mapping sheet. So this source to target mapping sheet is the baseline for the code development. Okay. So this source to target mapping sheet is going to tell us what is source, what is target, what source column need to map to, what target column. So accordingly, we are going to do the development. Once the development is completed, then we'll be creating this unit test case document. Once unit testing is also completed, we'll be preparing source code reviews and migration documents. So migration document is going to help us to the migration, to move the code from one environment to the other environments. Okay, so in the organization, the how much important that we have with the code development, the same importance will be there for code migration as well. So, so usually we'll be having code migration for code migrations, right? Majorly, there are two ways of doing code migrations. One is manual migration, other one is automated tool migration by using GitHub or DevOps. Okay, so if DevOps is implemented in our projects, then we'll be using them to migrate the code automatically. Okay, so if not, there will be a ISC support team. So we have to give it to the support team that I wanted these many components to be migrated. So we should be very much careful about preparing this migration document. So which are the components that we have worked? Okay, like mapping tasks, maplets, task flows, if at all any DSS synchronization tasks or application tasks. So whatever the tasks that we worked on, all of them that we will have to carefully mention in the migration document. Okay. So and then KT documents. KT document is nothing but knowledge transfer document. Once the development is completed, then we will have to plan for KT sessions. Okay, knowledge transfer sessions, so that we are going to transition to the support team. So we will have to tell them that, yeah, this is what is the code that we developed, and this is how we developed. So if at all these any issues are coming up, so we have encountered these kind of an issues, and this is how we fixed it. So when the jobs are running in production, if at all you face any kind of an issues, so you will have to clear like this. Okay, let's say there is some DTM issue, you'll have to restart the job. Let's say there is any connection issue, you'll have to work with the DBA to get the connection rectified. Okay, if you have any data issues, like source data is having some special characters, so data is getting rejected or the jobs are getting failed, then you'll have to inform to the respective source system business that, so we are getting these kind of special characters, these are not expected as per the requirements, so you will have to update this data and send us. So like that we will be having different issues whatever we encountered, so that will be transition to the support team. Okay, so every project will be having dev team and support team. So first will be development team will do the development, and then there will be a hypercare of 2 weeks. Okay, once the development is completed, then there will be hypercare of 2 weeks. So as part of the hypercare, so we will have to do this transition that we will call it as KT documents. Okay. Now, if we are joining in a project also, we will be getting KT. Okay, other people will be like team lead or someone in the team. They will be giving us the KT because what this project is all about and what exactly is happening here. What is my role in the project or what is your role in the project? Okay, how exactly we have to do the developments. So all this information will be provided by the other team members to us when we join in a project. So this we will call it as KT process, KT documents. Okay. And also on top of that, so I have worked on Oracle queries and Informatica for performance tuning sessions. Okay. Oracle query performance tuning, I have already explained. And Informatica mapping performance tuning is not explained yet. I'll explain now. Any questions so far?
Bhaskar, I have a
Yeah.
question. Um, if you the architecture you just show, right? Can you please show me that architecture? In this architecture flow,
Hmm.
like as an ETL developer, we need to do all the documentation also. Like from the source, we need to fetch the data to the base table. This from there, it'll our work starts.
Yes.
Okay, from we need to fetch the data to the base table, and then from base table to access layer, and then from access layer we need to do this
Reporting.
views, OLAP, and ETL until that process.
Yes, you're right.
All this flows. So for
See,
this flow we are using IICS and then the SQL queries, right?
wherever we see ETL here, so this is our job as an ETL developer. So in the architecture, they will be mentioning it. Who should do what layer? Okay, so there will be arrow marks. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in the arrow marks, they'll be mentioning. So ETL team has to do it, Snowflake team has to do it, or any S3 team, like depends upon the sources. It depends upon the architectures. So when we see ETL here, that is our
Mm-hmm.
responsibility.
And then do we need to know like the basic data, like how we know the source data is coming from Oracle? We know even for the unstructured data, like for example, there's a Teradata. Like we need to know about like how the data like will be there
Any
in that like.
database, any database, the moment
Mhm.
we say it is database, it is a structured data. Okay, be it Oracle, be it Teradata, be it SQL Server, be it uh, be it Postgres, be it Snowflake. Snowflake will be having unstructured data, okay, and
Mhm.
also Snowflake will be having structured data as well. Okay, so the moment we say it is a database, we'll be having structured data. The moment we say it is a file, we'll be having structured data. Okay, unstructured data that we will get only in the form of JSON tables. Okay, we will have to, so in the form of a JSON file. Okay, we'll have to pass the JSON. Okay, so let us not at all worry about this unstructured data. So if people are going to ask you, directly tell them that I never worked on unstructured data. If I get any
Okay,
kind of like,
only focus on the database. Like whenever
yes,
you say if okay, that okay.
yeah, because if in my experience, like you will be keeping 4 years or 5 years or 6 years experience. So
Yeah,
in my
I'm just keeping like 5 to 6. That's it.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
in my 4 5 years of experience or 6 7 years of experience, I never get it any kind of unstructured data. I did not get any opportunity, but I would love to work if I get any of these kind of an opportunity. This
Oh,
much.
okay. But the sorry, Maskar, for asking the
No,
Teradata and this MS SQL, it will be similar to the Oracle, but the only the thing is functions and the this other things will be different. That's it, right?
yeah, yeah. So even functions also, majority of the functions are same only. Okay.
Okay.
So very few functions will have around 70%, I would say. Oracle and Teradata or SQL Server will be having same functions also, but they have their own separate features. Okay, so Teradata is having some bash scripts. Okay,
Okay.
they have a different loads like, in MS SQL. Uh, where they have different additional features that it is having compared to Oracle.
Okay. See, for example, if the interviewer asks like, why are you using Oracle? Why are you not using this kind of database? Like normally, if they ask that kind of questions, like,
They ask, we have to tell, see, that is not up to, that is not in my hand as a developer. So that is an architect who designed it. Okay, so for
mm,
me, what is the source that I'll have to, I have the data. As a developer, it is, that is what is my responsibility. I'm not going to think about, because if I ask them also, that is an architecture
mm,
decision. Architect decision
okay,
is that.
okay,
Because we are not the people who are going to
yeah,
decide.
yeah, but they'll ask like, why, like for example, why are you using IACS, not using the power center? If they ask such kind of questions, like, is there any way to
Yeah.
explain them? That's
Yes, see, oh, you see, cloud. ISCS, see, when it comes to Informatica Power Center and ISCS, Power Center license is stopped. So Informatica Corporation is not giving support to Informatica Power Centers. So
it.
they told all their clients to migrate their code to ISCS. Okay. So now we are in a cloud world where we have to use the cloud application for the data processing. So that's where Informatica Cloud came into the picture, and we are using it right now.
Okay. Okay, Bhaskar.
Yeah.
And one more in performance, the thing, Bhaskar, I practice so many other queries. So I saw one or two. Is it good to use the join or the subqueries, which is like better in performance?
See, that is depends upon the requirement. Okay. So depends upon the tables that we are using it. Okay. Table volumes, table conditions. So there are certain factors that we'll have to. So majorly, I would say should go with the join. Okay, because when we do a join, majority of the data will be get filtered out, and so we can create indexes on the join columns. So which is going to help us for the improvement of the query. But when we write a subquery, okay, so the entire table scan will be happened on top of a subquery. Okay, but in a way, if there is a filter condition in the subquery, okay, so then subquery will be better, because now in the subquery where we can filter out the data. Okay,
Okay.
but purpose of both of them are little different, right?
Okay.
Subquery or joiner, the purpose is little different comparatively. Okay, when it comes to for interview, this is how
Mm,
you have to tell.
okay.
Depends upon the data, depends upon the conditions, depends upon the situation. We will have to take a decision to use. See, at the end, we like whether we use a join or whether we use a subquery, the end result should be same, should come same. So we will have to try both. Okay, then we'll have to see. So for this kind of requirement, which is giving the correct data, and then which is giving quick result.
Okay.
That's how you have to take a decision.
Okay. Got it, Bhaskar. Thank you.
Yeah. See, and one more thing which I can tell is when you go for interviews also, okay, if at all you have any questions, so for everyone, so please make a note of those questions. Okay, if required, I can connect for a session and I can clear all your questions. No worries in it. See, until you are going to get your job, yeah, I will be there for you to help you.
Sure, Bhaskar. Thank you.
Okay, so So this is the performance tuning steps for Power Center, not for IACS. Okay, I will just customize this. Okay. Fine. See, as part of the performance tuning, right? Performance tuning of IACS. Okay.